Now, the impact of social media in our societies cannot be overemphasized. All right, and basically, when people talk about social media, they are basically platforms and applications that are being created to create an environment to improve participation and improve networking, social networking amongst people far and wide across the globe. All right, so that's what basically social media it's about. Okay, so how you use it, it depends on you as the individual. Okay, but we're going to be discussing the pros and the cons very briefly of social media. All right, firstly, what are the pros? Now, basically, we say pros and cons. We just basically mean the benefits and the disadvantages of social media. Okay, so now what are these pros that we're going to be talking about? Some of the pros we're talking about today are: one, connectivity. It improves global connectivity. All right, so there are no boundaries anymore, unlike back in the days where you have to pick up a landline and try to call someone internationally. You just tap one app, and before you know it, you're connecting to the entire globe. That's one, self-explanatory. Secondly, education. Now, social media improves on our education. Training and development of groups and individuals can be further enhanced via social media. All right, so a lot of folks, some of us have improved on our skills, improved on our personality as a result of researches and things we not only just researched but inculcated into our natural behaviors via the social media as a result of others who are way advanced in these information uploading such contents for us to have access to. So that's where education comes in. Next is information and updates. Firstly, you have information and updates on politics. In America, for instance, the statistics says that 1 out of every 5 adults get their information on politics via social media. All right, so that's to tell you how effective it is. In other developed and developing countries, it could be way more than that. All right, in Africa, especially in maybe Nigeria, a lot of folks go online to get updates and information about the current polls, what's happening in the society. As a matter of fact, virtually everything. All right. Then also, it also improves on information about commerce, business, and professionalism. For instance, we have the LinkedIn, and the LinkedIn is a professional platform that helps professionals to connect. All right. You could source for jobs and get hired or hire people. All right. So these are products that social media has actually helped a great deal. Also on these updates and information for businesses, commerce, precisely, there's hardly any brand in the world right now that doesn't carry out its advertising, its promotion, its customer relationship, and details about its products. All right, the brand reputation and all that. That it's not primarily focused at targeting its customers and prospective customers via social media. All right, so that's to tell you the impact of social media in this generation. All right, also it creates awareness. For instance, you are aware of your surroundings. If most people get to know what happened in the neighborhood via social media, or they get to be informed of what's going to happen in the neighborhood so they could carry out the right measures to avoid being victims of such acts. All right, so it creates awareness in the society. For those who are on social media, it just a button away. All right, the next, it helps people build communities. You have communities with different motives, communities for human rights, communities for various movements. Okay, but when you come on social media, you find out you might be in one remote village in Africa, and you are leading a community, a global community where you have participants all across the world, in America, UK, in Australia, in Asia. Everyone is part of your community. Meanwhile, you who's the convener is somewhere in Africa or somewhere in down Asia. Okay, so there's no boundary. All right, there's no boundary in its community creation, building. All right, so that's an added advantage. Then it also helps speed up noble causes. Noble causes like charity, charity organizations, donations, offers. When people are giving out offers, they come on social media to place those adverts, and people participate, connect to it, and benefit from these noble causes. All right. If you don't put your noble cause on social media, hardly would you find participants, global participants. All right. So the participation will be actually very low. So people take advantage. We all take advantage of using social media as a platform for noble causes. All right. Then finally, it improves mental health. All right. It relieves stress. When you've had a long day, you worked all day and you're very busy, you were very busy, you had a very hectic day, you just go to the social media and you have a lot of things to engage in to ease that stress. Comic content, fun content, enlightening content that you could just watch and learn something for the next day, or you could just watch and laugh, have a huge sense of humor to relax your nerves and reduce your blood pressure, all right? Or normalize your blood pressure rather. Okay, so it's very important for mental health as it relieves stress. All right, I already spoke earlier about its business benefits via commerce. All right, so these are some. The lists are endless. Okay, the lists are endless. I just want to pick these few ones. Now let's go to another key part of social media: the cons. In every good thing, there's always a side effect. Okay, now the side effects of this great initiative called social media are numerous. Very, very numerous, but we're going to take just a few. Okay, firstly, it affects real life social emotional connections as everything is done via text and emojis. You find families in one house, and I've experienced it firsthand, where you have 6 people in the living room and no one is talking to the other. Everybody's stuck to their phones, head down, pressing, typing. As a matter of fact, it was so terrible that one person wanted to communicate to the next person just a walk away, all right, a step away rather, and it had to be done via SMS, via social media, maybe one of these apps, all right, and just sent a message and the person responded. That is a social vice. It's very, very terrible. Okay, when people have to become separated from the real life activities, all because they have their phones or their gadgets to do the communication for them. That is a negative impact in our society. Next, it decreases the quick-witted skills that are only developed via face-to-face meeting. Quick-witted skills are like understanding the person you're with via eye contact, via body language, via what the person said, the tone of the person's speech, so you could decipher the undertone of what that message was actually meant for. All right, these things are cut off from our social lives, cut off from our experience. We're no longer quick-witted because all we see is just one camera facing the other, and the person might be whatever. All right, I don't want to go graphic now. Might be whatever state he's in, and he's giving the picture he wants you to see. Okay, giving the picture he wants you to see. Right now, you can't actually judge the quality of that person's personality by what you just saw via the camera. And worst of all, we've seen cases of people becoming victims of rape and murder as a result of SMS chats and various chat groups without knowing the person for real. And they thought maybe that person actually liked them. They just chatted and they said, okay, let's meet up. And it ended up roughly. A lot of serial rapists and killers get their victims from social media. All right. So it's not something we should fully delve into head deep. All right. It has its consequences. Then it's a major distracting tool. As a matter of fact, you see parents today, while they are going to pick their kids from school or doing something, they are also trying with one other hand to get latest gossips, latest gist, latest trending fashion news online because they want to stay in touch. I call it the FOMO syndrome, which is FOMO simply means fear of missing out. They have that fear of missing out on the slightest information. Makes it looks like if they don't get any instant current updates, they feel less privileged. Okay, so that's a very, very bad syndrome. As a matter of fact, some of these folks, both teenagers and adults, put some of these platforms on, they put what is called the bell, which means they are notified every single time an update on this platform pops up. So you might be sleeping and all of a sudden you hear a bell sound, a notification from one of your major followers, one of your major bloggers, and you wake up from that sleep to pick up your phone and get updates. That is destructive. All right, you're killing yourself. All right, that's a very, very negative way to handle the social media. Then it promotes laziness. Promotes laziness. You see a lot of people just sit in one place. All they do is just order online pizza, burger, and all the stuff. They sit just in one place just because they have free Wi-Fi in their country, and they just start blowing up, becoming unhealthy. All they just do is sit, eat, and do social media, go online. That is the height of laziness. Instead of getting up their feet, going out there and making impact in the society, they just sit at home, eat, sleep, and do social media. That is laziness. All right. Then it is addictive. Like we already said earlier, you can become obsessed and addicted to social media. In other words, if you're not on it, as a matter of fact, some people say that they spend, and they are glad about it, that they spend out of the 24 hours of a day, they're giving 9 to 10 hours of their day to social media. So I start wondering, if you deduct the sleeping time from the 24 hours and you add the 9 to 10 hours to their time, so what's left for them to actually become useful to the society? Except you tell me that is what your job entails, being on social media. That is understandable. All right. But now, in the other case where it's not your job and it's not job related, and you're doing that, you're actually becoming slothful. All right, becoming slothful. You'll be distracted from the major things in your surroundings that could have actually impacted your life, or you would have made impact in others. All right, then it creates room for cyberbullying. Cyberbullying simply means you have some kids who, because in their environment, they either don't have friends, or they had friends who always intimidated them, or they had siblings, older siblings, who always make them feel irrelevant and whatever the case may be. And they come online